Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News, Thursday, April 3rd, 2025. Stand up for your country. Well, I'm very glad you're here today. This is an important broadcast for you, your family, all of that. This is not a podcast. That drives me nuts. This is a broadcast which conforms to journalistic rules where facts rule. Donald Trump is taking a big risk, not only with himself and his administration, but with us. Every other president since World War II would not take that risk. Every other president knew that the USA was getting hosed in foreign trade. From Truman to Biden, every one of those men knew it. No one would do anything about it. Now Donald Trump says he will. And that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. So the president is correct. The data is there. Foreign nations make far more money from trade with America than we make from them. It's in the trillions of dollars when you add it up. How do they do it? Well, I'm going to walk through that. I'm going to tell you exactly how the countries abroad are screwing us. Why aren't Americans aware of this? Two reasons. The press ignores it. It's too boring. It's too complicated. And we live pretty well here. Despite the bad trade deals, we live pretty well. In fact, we live better than anybody else on the planet. So there isn't an urgency like there is with criminal migrants, for example. Okay? Now, Donald Trump has now become the biggest president disruptor in the history of this republic. He passes Theodore Roosevelt. The turn of the 20th century, Roosevelt went after the robber barons, the monopolies. He tried to crush them. It was a brawl. I write about it in Confronting Evil. These robber barons were as bad as you could possibly get, exploiting American workers. But they employed millions of people. Even though most of those people were being exploited, they got a paycheck. So Roosevelt going after these big shots was not popular. Teddy won. He knocked out a lot of the monopolies in this country. Again, people don't know it. History isn't taught anymore. But when you read Confronting Evil, you'll see, because that is an interesting chapter. So Donald Trump has now wiped Teddy off the face of the map by saying to the world, I'm going to fight you all at once to get better trade agreements. He might win like Teddy did. It was painful for Teddy, and nobody knew the outcome for a while. Same thing could happen. Donald Trump could get better trade deals here. That could absolutely happen. But in the short term, today, if you were in the stock market, you lost money. I lost money. I bought a little stock today. Not much. I bought a company that I feel a year from now is going to be very prosperous. And I didn't buy many shares. But that company got whacked. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I can't do that. But I bought a little bit today. I still believe in the American economy and that we are going to do well going forward. But in the next few weeks, boy, oh boy. So the president is making a decision to try to catapult himself up to greatness. Because if it all comes true and manufacturing comes back to the United States and investment comes back to the United States, the American worker will prosper big time. But if it doesn't come true, it's going to be hard economic times. All right, do we have it? Okay. Now, enter the press. They want Trump to fail, except for Fox News and Newsmax. Everybody else in the press wants Trump to fail. So as soon as the stock market goes down, you get hysteria. Go.
And so they have taken an economy that was actually in pretty decent shape and moving in the right direction, and they are going to turn it upside down, and I think 50-50 into a recession.
Wow, 50-50. And you have, as you said, companies like Goldman Sachs using the word stagflation, that combination of inflation and slowing growth.
So that's NBC Comcast. It's going to be a recession. It's going to be horrible. You're going to lose your home. Your kids will be out in the street, that. And then people who are not informed, who aren't watching the No Spin News or listening to it, they don't know. They just don't. Fear is a great political motivator, okay? So presses a raid. This is bad. What Trump is doing is bad. All right. Now, there is a segment, a sliver of information that comes out that is fair. Okay, that's why this broadcast prospers. Excuse me. Last night on News Nation, I was on with Cuomo, as I am every Wednesday, and Geraldo was on too. Geraldo just took his family to Japan. Here's what he said. Go.
I can tell you, we went the length and breadth of the island archipelago, and the big cities like Tokyo and the others. We did not see a single American car on the road in Tokyo. Mm-hmm. Not a Caddy, not a Buick, not a Ford, not a Chevy, not a nothing. We have plenty of Toyotas here in my neighborhood and around the country.
And you won't see American cars in China, in South Korea, in Southeast Asia, in Germany, and most of the rest of Europe. You will not see them, which is why members of the United Auto Workers Union went to the press conference to bolster President Trump yesterday. So American cars are shut out, whereas many of us drive foreign cars. Not me. I never do that. I have a Cadillac. It's 9 years old. It's a good car, and I'm keeping it. All right? I would never buy a foreign car under any circumstances. All right? Because I buy American. Anyway, Rivera told the truth that countries like Japan, which is our big ally, set up a system whereby American cars are so expensive, once they get on the ground in Japan, that no Japanese is going to pay that money. And they do that by tariffs. They do that by taxes, VAT, value-added tax, regulations. Oh, we don't like this tire, and you got to do this, and you got to do that. So they're shut out. Is that fair? No, it's not fair. That's the best example I can give you. And then you multiply that by 1,000 American products. Our products go all over the world, but many of them cannot get into the individual countries, like India. India makes it almost impossible. Canada, you can't get dairy in there, American dairy. You can't get American crops in there. Okay? Mexico's the same way. They don't want a certain product. They slap on all onerous regulations, so you can't get it down there. That's what it's all about. Do we all understand? Raise your hand if you don't. Now, most Americans not watching this broadcast because they're not really seeking information. They don't understand tariffs. I don't want to be arrogant, but they don't. Go out today and just ask anybody, what's this tariff deal all about? Well, we don't like it. Oh, okay, what don't you like? They don't know. So people like that are easily manipulated by the far left hate Trump press. Now, I had to set News Nation straight last night about what the core issue is here as far as Donald Trump's mind. What is in his mind? Roll the tape. It did affect American markets, but not in the way that people think. So let's go to Bernie Sanders. Let's go to the income inequality crew. Mm-hmm. Well, why do you think there's so much income inequality? Because the high-paying union manufacturing jobs went overseas. And they were replaced by service jobs that don't pay as much. Mm-hmm. or public service or whatever. So what Trump clearly said is, I'm going to bring back those manufacturing jobs. People are going to invest in plants in America. That's going to heighten
Right, but that's an if.
the potential to earn money by Americans.
But that's highly speculative.
Okay, it might. I don't think it's highly speculative, but it is speculative. But that's what Trump wants to do. He wants to bring back the jobs that have fled overseas. Apple already said it's going to relocate billions back to the USA from China. The Gulf nations are now pledging $1 trillion infrastructure investment in American manufacturing. So if you are a regular American, all right, and you're trying to earn a living, and you have a choice between getting into a manufacturing plant and earning $75 an hour or driving an Uber, what are you going to take? But the manufacturing jobs have gone to Mexico and China and Southeast Asia because the workers there work for cheap. Some of them are slave workers. In China, they are actually slave workers. So the American companies go, oh, we don't care about American workers. We want to make as much money as possible. We're going over there. Trump wants to stop that. Okay, again, raise your hand if you don't understand it. It's important that you understand what the intent is. Now, Cuomo goes, speculative. All right. So Trump has one of two choices. He can ignore it like every other president has, or he can try to fix it. And he chose to try to fix it. That's where we are. Okay. I think that is about as fair an explanation as you will ever get from any person in the media. Here are the other reactions from the media last night.
It is hard to overstate the potential impact of tonight's breaking news, and it's no exaggeration to say it has the potential to affect more lives and livelihoods in this country and around the world than virtually anything short of wars and pandemics.
Donald Trump has been on a quest to turn the United States relationship with our friend Canada, one of our closest allies, on its head between his manufactured trade war and threats to make Canada the 51st state. His actions are so ludicrous and so deeply unpopular that they are prompting the booing of our national anthem at NHL and NBA games held in Canada over the last couple weeks.
President Trump calling it a declaration of economic independence. He calls it Liberation Day. It is almost certainly to liberate more money from your wallet.
It's utter nonsense. The European Union charges the U.S. a 39% tariff. That's obviously preposterous. It's totally invented. We don't even know where that number comes from.
That's just stupid. He's stupid. All right. Everybody knows that the VAT tax in Europe, which is between 20 and 25% in most places, jacks up the price of all imported goods, not just from the USA. You know, this kind of dishonesty, if I'm the head of Comcast NBC, he doesn't work for me. He's just not smart enough to work for me. And he's misleading everybody. And then Wallace, his actions are so ludicrous and deeply unpopular. Of course, they're going to be deeply unpopular with Canada and every other country because they're not going to make as much money. If Trump's successful in what he's doing, those countries aren't going to make as much cash. So they're not going to be happy about it. But again, Nicole Wallace, does she know anything? And I hate to get personal because I know these people. I got to tell you, they don't know anything. And they don't care to know. They don't care. All they want to do is bash and hate Donald Trump. And that's what they do. But this stuff gets out to casual Americans who don't follow the news, who don't understand what this is all about. All right, let's wrap it up here. So short-term pain is going to happen. And Donald Trump is responsible for the short-term pain. That's a fact. Longer term, nobody knows. I don't know. I can't even guess. I'm hoping, not for ideological or party reasons, I'm hoping that Trump makes good deals and the American economy surges, which absolutely could happen as well. And that's what I'm hoping for. Why? Because I want every American to live better, to have more security. Has nothing to do with Donald Trump. I thought his presentation yesterday was pretty good. All right, I know what I'm talking about here. I've been to 86 countries. Rivera told the truth. He's all over there. You're not going to see any cars made in America in these countries. So, Trump is a disruptor. Will he win? Place your bets. That's the memo. Last year, investors scored the highest profits in decades. Unfortunately, the rest of us were held back by stacks of bills and credit card debt. Well, Done with Debt has found a solution. They created a brilliant new strategy designed to tackle debt, put cash back into your hands, so you can finally save, invest, and live your life in comfort. Done with Debt goes head to head with credit card and loan companies. Their team of negotiators and legal experts work to significantly reduce your bills, eliminate interest, and erase penalties. Bottom line, Done with Debt helps turn crushing debt into financial freedom. But some of their strategies are time sensitive, so please don't wait. Get the life you deserve. Visit donewithdebt.com. Talk with one of their strategists, absolutely free. Visit donewithdebt.com, donewithdebt.com. Okay, got a brand new YouTube thing about how it's almost impossible now for Americans to get honest information, which puts you at a very big disadvantage. So our YouTube channel is youtube.com/Bill O'Reilly, youtube.com/Bill O'Reilly. It is free, and these commentaries are different than what we do here on the No Spin News. We hope you sign up. Let's go to the mail. Dale Malik, Akron, Ohio. During his first term, Donald Trump passed tax cuts and implemented regulation reforms. True. His policies helped to mitigate the impact of tariffs on the U.S. economy. Expect the Dow to drop more than 1,000 points. Trump is taking risks with other people's money. Short term, as we discussed at the top of the broadcast, he is. But the tariffs are not fair. Well, I hate to say we'll see, because that's what all the others say, but no one can predict how this will turn out. That's better. John, it's all about saving face for Putin. He can't stay in power if he has nothing to show for the 100,000 loss of Russians. The idea that some think Russia is poised to come after the Baltic countries is crazy. Russia has neither the men nor material to invade NATO countries. That is true. But Russia can do a lot of damage to Moldova, to other smaller countries in the region that used to be dominated by the Soviet Union, and that's what America and NATO are trying to head off. Just so you know the big picture. Jay Como, I guess I have to ask, what effect does this have on the USA one way or another? Ukraine, where Russia holds ethnic Russians, the area was given to the USSR for the sacrifices during World War II. It's Europe's responsibility. You know, if you're an isolationist, you're an isolationist. But believe me, if Putin runs wild, it's going to hurt the USA. No doubt about it. The bolder this man is, the more damage he's going to do to the world. David, Bill, how do you conclude, based on the election of a single state Supreme Court justice, Wisconsin is now a blue state and no longer a swing state? Because the legislature in Wisconsin is going to redistrict to make it impossible for Republicans to win any state representation. So it'll be dominated by a Democratic machine, and that will translate into the presidential vote. The domino thing. Gary Gilch, White Plains, New York. I've read Chief Justice John Roberts is a member in several secret groups that are far left. Is that true? How would I know if they're secret, Gary? Gary, look, I like you. I don't know why, but I do. I like you, Gary. Stay off these websites, please. Jeremy Demmer, Bel Air, Maryland. In your message today, you said Joe Biden blocked Bad Vlad from conquering Kyiv because of the failed Afghanistan debacle. How so? I didn't say Joe Biden blocked Bad Vlad. I said Trump cannot surrender to Putin because of what Biden did in Afghanistan. If Trump backs away from Putin, he's going to be labeled as weak, as Joe Biden was or is. Okay, we want you to go to our website, pick up the No Not Woke gear for Dad's Day, Mom's Day. We're going to have special Not Woke Mom mugs soon. We got the shirts, we got the hats, we got Not Woke mug, but we're going to put Mom and Dad in a new set of Made in America mugs. Leather-bound edition of Killing the Rising Sun, best Father's Day gift ever. Our leather-bound edition of Patton sold out. This will too. Pick it up now for Dad. Think ahead. And then you can pre-order Confronting Evil. And I mentioned it earlier with the robber barons, Teddy Roosevelt. This is really a lively book. You will like it. Word of the day, do not be dogmatic. D-O-G-M-A-T-I-C. Back with a little bit more of the Three Americans show. President Trump is trying to fix the economy, but some believe the damage is already done. As the dollar value drops, China's power and gold keep going up. I called American Hartford Gold to diversify with physical precious metals, and you might consider that as well. They will help you secure your savings with physical gold and silver delivered right to your door, or you can set up a tax advantage gold IRA. Plus, it's tax and penalty free to roll over your current 401k or IRA. With billions in precious metals delivered, thousands of five-star ratings, and an A+ from the Better Business Bureau, they are the only precious metals dealer I trust. So please call or text American Hartford Gold. Tell them O'Reilly sent you, and you might get $15,000 of free silver on a qualifying order. Call 866-501-5201 or text BILL to 65532. Again, 866-501-5201 or text BILL to 65532. If your business generates $1 to $10 million annually but struggles with rising costs and other challenges, Financial Yield Solutions, Inc., or FYSI for short, has tailored solutions for you. From tax planning to scaling operations and more, FYSI helps businesses thrive. Considering selling? FYSI guides winning exit strategies. Look, AI tech raised $500 billion under the Trump administration so far. Businesses can't afford to be left behind. FYSI can help you explore AI integrations to excel in today's rapidly evolving landscape. With more than 14 years of experience, FYSI specializes in solving the challenges business owners face. Business owners can book a free business review today to transform your operations, boost profits, secure financial futures for you. Visit FYSI.com/bill, or you can call. So here's a final thought of the day. If you are a premium or concierge member to BillO'Reilly.com, we are going to show you much of the Three Americans show that took place last Sunday. Stephen A. Smith, Chris Cuomo, and O'Reilly. That's me. Only premium and concierge members get to see that block. No one else, which is why I hope you sign up, because we have lots of good stuff for you. Here's a taste. You guys both missed the big thing, why the Democrats have collapsed. And you know why?
Tell us, Bill, why?
Your wallet. Your wallet.
That's
So
what it
Americans, most Americans are not politically ideological. They're not. They're just decent people trying to make a living and raise their family in an honest way. And then when you come out of COVID and your prices triple in my town, a tuna sandwich is $15 at the deli. Are you kidding me?
He will not stop talking about this tuna
won't.
sandwich. I don't know if the guy who owns this deli is here, but you better bring the price down or rename it after him.
That's right.
Otherwise, you're going to have a problem.
Okay, so our retention rate, because it's renewal time now for BillO'Reilly.com subscribers, Concierge and Premium, is 90%. Nobody does that. But the 10% that drop out, unless you're dead or in a coma, you're working against yourself. You're going to need the information that we provide. You're going to have that in the next few years. Because if you're going to depend on the network and cable news, you're going to get right between the eyes. They're not going to tell you the truth. We will. So if you aren't signed up for Concierge Premium membership, we hope you do. On renewal, got to do it, and you get free books. Anybody who signs up or renews gets free books. Your choice. Anyway, this was a good show. I hope you, and if you're a Premium and Concierge member, you can get a transcript. I would do that. Because we went over the tariff and every way you could go over the tariff. Okay, so I would do that. And we want you to have a good weekend. New column on Sunday. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thank you for watching and listening to us. We'll see you on Monday. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a Premium or Concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.